Hello and good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? This is Sue here from Sue's Paper Creations, and Friday, I can't believe we are Friday already. It is October the 31st, so it is Halloween today. Happy Halloween, everyone. Yeah, it's the end of the week. It's the beginning of the weekend, which is amazing. Let's see here. This weekend for you, I am going to do a Sunday morning step up design at 9 a.m. So you can, put a little reminder and hopefully join me on Sunday morning at 9, where I am going to take a nice basic layout stamp, ink, paper, and I am going to do our traditional step it up. We are going to make 2 additional cards using some different techniques, some textures perhaps, to take your cards to the next level. So you can look forward to that on Sunday morning. And I'm going to bring in a new release for that creating on Sunday morning. So I hope you will join me. All right, so let's have a look here. I just want to see. There is. Make sure I'm in the right spot at the right time. Good morning. People are just showing up. I'm just showing up in some feeds this morning. It is just after 9 o'clock. For today, I have got for you a fun fold. And it is a fun one. It is an easy one. It is going to use up beautiful designer paper, and it's going to show off both sides. Happy Boo Day. I love that. Love that, Jody. Yes, happy Halloween. Although I am going to be working on a little Christmas this morning, but happy Halloween. Yes. Does anyone do anything special for Halloween? That is the question. This year is going to be a little bit different. We have grown-up kids. They are all moved out now. So it is just going to be Lance and I. So I think we have got a baseball game tonight, right? So we are going to watch the baseball game. We will have, I don't even know if we're going to have Jim with us tonight. Jim might be with Molly, the dog, our golden retriever. So we're going to watch the game. We're going to hand out the trick-or-treats at the door, which is always fun. It's always fun to see the costumes that the kids come up with, right? Especially all the little tiny ones. Love it. Love it. And I actually used to have a ton of fun coming up with costumes for the girls. I love doing that. So I can't wait to see what comes to the door tonight. So if you are just popping in, let me know where you are watching from. My name is Sue Phillip. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Victoria, BC. We are Friday morning. We are the beginning of the weekend, which in Victoria, I think it's going to be a rainy weekend, which means that for me, it's going to be a crafty weekend, which is great. So I plan on getting lots of stuff prepped this weekend. I am going to get out my registration for December, which is my Christmas tag dozen that I do every single year. So I will get that out by the end of the weekend so that you have a chance to register for that and be able to make all of your fabulous Christmas tags that you can put on your presents, or you can gather them up and give them as gifts as well. So I will be putting that out for you. We are the last day of our Join Special. So I am in my craft room today. If anyone has any last minute questions, if you are within Canada and you want to get an amazing deal, I had one question come up, and that was somebody asked me, they had like a pile, quite a large list of $300-400 worth of stuff that they were wanting to get, and they're like, can I put the amount into my starter kit, like if I get the $49 one, or if I get the one that is $135 and you get pick out $252 worth of stuff, can I put more in my starter kit than that amount and just pay the difference? And unfortunately, the answer is no. But that is okay, because whether you pick the $49 special for or $48 for $165 worth of stuff, or if you pick the pay $135 and you get $252 worth of stuff that you pick out, whatever it is, you pick out the closest, make your list. It's your own list, whatever you want, and you pick out all those goodies and you get as close as you can to that 165 or that 152. And then that rest of the list, then you will be able to get your discount on that. So once you get your starter kit arrives, and actually once you get your email that has your number, you set up your own little website in which you can order your stuff at a discount, and then you get to put that rest of the list that you have through yourself, and you get 20% off all of that. So in the end, you end up saving more on whatever else you want for like the next 5 months. So it's definitely worth it. You can reach out to me and I can walk you through things, okay? And you get to join a great community with our Stamp It Canadian, okay? All right, so for creating, I'm gonna head on down to my craft area here, which I've got a pile of good stuff we're gonna use today. So we are going to use the pine tree trimmings. We are going to use, I love this stamp right here, and I'm actually going to stamp this one as well, just to see what it looks like. So we are going to do some stamping. I am going to be doing some folding of this gorgeous piece of paper here that I'm going to show you a special little fun fold. We've got some inserts, and I've got some die cuts already cut from the traditional labels dies. So this one comes with some great greetings, and it has all of these very detailed label dies. So I do love this set. Like I said, it comes with a whole bunch of different Christmas greetings that you can use in here, but I love it as a standalone set of dies too, because you have all this pretty detail that, I mean, it doesn't scream Christmas, just all this beautiful swirls and dots that you could use for elegant cards, you could use for wedding cards, birthday cards, whatever you want. I think it'd be beautiful with floral stuff too. So I have cut out this one here because I love the little detail for Christmas. And I'm actually going to use one of the little greetings in this set on it. And we're going to do some beautiful trees from the pine tree trimming. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, I just want to put this aside. We are going to use the dies. We're going to cut up our beautiful trees, and then we are going to fold this in a way which you are going to have a gorgeous card that's going to pull open and close. It's going to have an insert in it, and it's going to have our gorgeous trees on front. So I can't wait to get started and show you, okay? Let's see here. I am on my way to my book club luncheon. Oh, you know what? That sounds so fun. Book club. I love different little gatherings, right? Anything that brings everyone together. That's why I love going live here, is because I love just bringing everyone together and having some fun. Last night, I had some of my Stamp It Canadian team. We got together and we just had a little chat and a visit. And the theme was just bring whatever craft you want to work on, whatever. We called it a kit together because everybody has kits, whether it's paper pumpkins or other kits that you have. received or you have got in the past, and you may not finish them. You start them, you don't get them finished. So I actually had about 5 kits to choose from that I found on my shelf that were all half done. So I worked at a Christmas kit from, I'm trying to remember what year it was. I think it was 2022, from like 3 years ago. And I finished off some of the cards. And, you know, not only did I finish off some of the cards, I decided, of course, to cut things in totally different ways and create totally different cards with it, which was a lot of fun too. Maybe I'll share those with you. But it's a great way to, yeah, just have a group of you get together. So at one point, I'm going to do a little kit along to anyone who wants to join, who is just on my Facebook group, and I will put together a Zoom link that you can sign up for, and we can just get together and chat and create, right? Just for fun. Doesn't matter where you are. That's the best part. Okay, so I do need to, I'm going to grab my Versamark. I've got all my, this is what I want. I have got all of my crafting goodies in different piles all over my craft room right now, because I've got 2 more Christmas Stamp-A-Stacks coming up in November. So I'm going to just stamp this gorgeous tree. No, I'm going to do this one on this one. We're going to do the pretty peacock, and we're going to do it in white. I use my buddy. Did you see I brushed my little buddy on there so that this will come out nice and clean. Okay. Perfect. So I've got all of my different things that I'm working on in different piles. And today I am hoping to make some good progress on all of those piles today. Oh, one thing I am going to be doing, if you are part of my subscriber group on Facebook, I am going to be showing you a special chocolate bar card that I created for the fundraiser thank you event that we did for October. There was a group of 8 of us, and we each made a project to share as a thank you for those that donated to our different fundraisers in October. And I created a chocolate bar easel card. So I'm going to create that later on my subscription group. And I can pop the link for that subscription. I'll pop it in the comments later. It's $2.49 a month, and we just do kind of some extra lives a couple times a month, and I do a little bit more content, and it just shows up in this regular Facebook group, but instead of it being a public post, it is a subscriber post. So I'm going to show you what we're going to make, and then I'll be walking everybody through that on my subscriber group today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I want to get it in before all the trick-or-treating happens tonight, and that way there isn't any doorbells going off and Jim getting excited and all that sort of stuff while I'm trying to do a live. Okay. Yeah. Now, as I am, let's see here, I'm going to die cut out my trees, and then I'm going to stamp my little greeting, and then I'm going to stamp actually a beautiful tree on here as well. And I've got, let's see, I've got a little Versamark left on this ink, or on this tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my clear powder out, And I'm going to make a green embossed tree on here. Okay. Yes, the Blue Jays game is on tonight. Yes, it is going to be good. So there we go. I'm going to add a little Versa. I'm going to get my clear embossing powder, and then that will actually make this tree nice and embossed. So I'm going to show you that. Let's see. There we go. Let's get the clear. And I'll bring my cut and emboss machine over here, and we'll do our die cutting here in a second. But I do want to do one tree on the inside here as well. So I'm going to do it in the shaded spruce, but I'm going to, seeming I have my embossing tool out here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some embossing powder. And because we've got that little tiny bit of Versamark on there, it should make this so this is a beautiful glossy tree. So you can use any of your inks to heat emboss with. What I recommend is before you put your colored ink on is you just tap the stamp on your Versamark, and it's just going to make a sticky layer over top. When you go to stamp it, it'll be a sticky layer over top of your colored ink. And then what you end up with is you end up with, it's hard to tell, I'm trying to get the angle on here with my light, but you end up with a raised glossy, can you see it a little bit? It's hard to tell with a dark color, isn't it? But it is, does look quite shiny. And it is nice and raised up. So I've got a nice embossed layer on there. This is going to go on the inside of my card. Okay, so let's bring over my cut and emboss. And then I am going to show you how to fold up your 12 by 5. I'm going to do 5 1/4 actually. I had this at 5 1/2, but I've decided to add a one layer base onto there as well. So I'm going to cut it down to 5 1/4. So if you happen to have a piece of designer series paper that you want to, as we go through and we score this and we fold it and everything, and you want to give this little folding technique a try, then just grab any piece that you've got. And sometimes when you're making a fun fold for the first time, you use maybe a piece that isn't your favorite, perhaps, but you can use it as your sample, and then you can kind of work from there and make lots more after that. So if you want to grab a piece that is 12 by 5 1/4, I will write that down, and you can fold along with me and see how this is going to come together. So it is 5 1/4 by 12. And if you are going to have directional paper, you want it so that the direction is going up this way, because the card is going to go in this direction. Okay, it's going to be folded up and it's going to go in this direction. I'm using a non-directional, then it's easy, right? You don't have to worry about which way the pattern's going. And this is a beautiful pattern. Okay, so you can grab that, and then you'll at least learn the little fold that we're going to be doing. I need my tree out of here. Learn the little fold. My tree is missing. That's not a good thing. I think it's in my die cut bucket. Let me just grab it. In here. It is. Whew. I have a little die cut container for the class. Okay. And let's do some cutting. So at least you'll be able to learn how to fold the paper, and then you can finish decorating it later. Okay, but I'm gonna just quickly die cut my trees, and I'm gonna do one in the shaded spruce. It's so pretty. This is gonna be kind of like the background tree because there's not a lot of detail to it. but it has the definition for the tree, which is what I want. There we go. So, for those that are watching, yeah, do you get trick-or-treaters to your door every year is my question. Because I remember when growing up, we lived at a dead-end cul-de-sac, and I think my mom would probably, like, I was busy running around with, my dad was always the one who took me out trick-or-treating. And then my mom would stay and she would hand out the trick-or-treats until I got back, and then I helped. But we used to have like 200 plus kids that would come to the door. Like, it was so busy. Here, the street that we are on, oh, that moved a little bit on me. Let me just shimmy that little extra bit off here. But on the street that we are on, I mean, we might get 30, perhaps, about 30. We don't get a lot, but it's still pretty fun. And even when my parents moved to the last place they were in before, they're in a group home now, but an extended care unit for my mom. But before that, they again lived in a dead-end street, and they still, like the last couple of years, which was only about 3 or 4 years ago, yeah, they would still get like 100 to 150, which I thought was pretty good nowadays, because lots of people just, you know, they head to different events that are in the community and not so much, you know, the traditional trick-or-treating, right? We live in the country, residential, long driveway, no kids. Donna, I can believe, I know where the area Donna lives in, not too far from here, and I can believe that you guys still get 100 kids up in that area, because it is a great street. It's a safe street. I think that's the thing nowadays, is people look for an area that's not going to be a lot of cars. It's going to be a safe street. Now, I'm going to take, let's see here. I had a scrap moment. I have to put a little bit of scrap here. So, for the insert, I'm making you guys hold out for this fold, aren't I? I'm not terrible. It's nasty of me. But I'm going to have everything ready, so then when we do the fold, it will just all go on there and it will be amazing. So, in the bottom of my container of papers, like left in my paper package, I've got all these little scraps, and I had a scrap moment. And I hope that you guys have scrap moments too. And by that I mean you are doing the insides of your cards and you've been using these beautiful papers, and we have got little bits and pieces that get left over from when we cut and we cut down our layers. So I want you to use those. Pull those out and add a little piece on the inside of your card, right? It steps it up. Look at that. See? So cute. Okay, we're going to put this onto here, and this is going to be the inside. Now, before I attach it, I might stamp a little greeting on here. So I am going to do 'Tis the Season, and then I'm going to put Sending Christmas Wishes. And I'm going to put that right down here. So then I've got room to still write a little greeting. Okay. 4 houses that have great decorations. See? Oh, I was going to say maybe I should walk Jim up that area, and then I could check things out. But Jim is at his little doggy daycare today, because he goes and he plays with a bunch of dogs on Wednesdays and Fridays, and he loves it. I love that greeting. Isn't that pretty? Just to put the greeting down here next to the tree. That looks so cute on the inside. I'm happy with that. Okay. All right, so we have got a piece on the inside, which looks beautiful. Now, can you see it? Can you see it catching the light? I really wanted you to see the shine on this tree. I like it. Okay. Then I am going to take this piece and I am going to do a 'Tis the Season. So I'm going to take this one out of here. And did I already take the 'Tis the Season out? Maybe I did. Yes, I did. Now, I have to let you know that the fold that I am creating, I received a card, and I must say it was back in 2020. I received a card from one of our Stamp It Canadian ladies. She has her own site. She is the Canadian Stamper, Tanya Sousa. And yeah, she sent me a beautiful card in 2020. And I keep my cards because, I mean, not only are they special that someone has gone to the effort to create a card for me, but you know, it is inspiration for my further creating. So this morning I was having a hard time trying to figure out what to create with you today, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at this bucket of Christmas cards, and this is the one. I will show you the card. This is our fold that we're going to do with the Merry and Bright, and it opens up like this. See that? Beautiful, simple. Look at all that beautiful paper that you are using, that you get to focus on both sides of the actual designer series paper. And I thought I'm going to do a version. As I was looking at this card, it's amazing how things come together, right? As I was looking at this card, that out of my cards that I had received, I ended up seeing this is one of my cards for my Stamp-A-Stack, and I did this one live at some point last month, this month, I don't know. It was one of the first ones I made live. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to combine these colors, this beautiful tree, into this card. So it's amazing how, you know, you cross over, you can cross over and just have a look at some of the stuff that you've received, and then maybe something that you've made, and you know, it will inspire you to create something new, right? So really, this is kind of like what I would do for a Tuesday night toss-up, because on a Tuesday night toss-up, I take something that I get inspiration from, and I toss it up with new things. So in a way, that's what I'm doing today for you. Okay, I'm going to get all my embossing powders out of the way because we don't need that. And we are going to take our piece of 12 by 5 1/4, and we're going to do some scoring and folding. Now, I'm going to reference Tanya's as I go here. Let me see here. Okay, we are, and I just want to this is going to score in this way. Gosh, I love that paper. Yeah, this is what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to score this at, it's easy one. We're going to score at 4, and we're going to score at 8. So this is 12 inches long. It is 5 1/4 high. Okay, just seeing who's popping in here. Is the tree on white cardstock? Green. Yes, with the white. Is the tree on the white cardstock? Oh my goodness, I had to read that a couple times. Yes, it is. This is shaded spruce. I think that's the question you're asking. This is shaded spruce. Yeah. So it's this color, and it's just embossed. So it makes it look a little bit darker, but it goes with these papers here. So yes, it is. It is shaded spruce. Great question. Okay, so I'm going to score at 4, and I'm going to score at 8. Now, let's see here. Yeah, 8. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip it over to the opposite side. And I just want to make sure that these score lines, they get deep enough. Let's see here. Let's see. It's hard for you to see my score lines, and it's hard for me to feel them. Maybe I didn't go a little, need to do it a little bit harder than that. I always am more cautious when I am scoring designer series paper because it's thinner, right? So I want to make sure that I don't do it too heavy because I don't want to actually cut. There, I can feel the score line now. I don't want to cut that designer series paper. Okay, let's try that again. There. That, and is my plate? It is in the right spot. Yeah, okay. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so these are going to end up folding like this. Okay, inward. But then what I need them to do is I need them to also fold outward a little bit. Okay, so we're going to have this and then it's going to fold outward. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to turn it over, and normally I wouldn't worry too much about which way you score and folding away. Actually, I'm going to score it on this side right here. I'm going to score at 2 inches on this end and 2 inches on this end because I'm going to need to fold it this direction, okay? With Versamark. Yes, with Versamark. Okay, yes, this is a great, easy fold to do, Lauralee. You'll love it, okay? So I'm gonna turn it over and I'm going to score it from the opposite side because when I score, let's see here, this is gonna go this way. I'm gonna score it on, no, I wanna score it on this side. I want to fold it away from the ditch that I create. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna score it 2 inches on this end and 2 inches on this end. So basically you're adding a 2-inch score line on either end. Okay. All right. So now I've got this folding this way. Okay. And this folding this way. So we've done our 4 and our 8. And then we scored just 2 inches in on each side. Okay. Now, you're going to have to do a little bit of cutting here. And as you can see on this one, we are going to cut from this point, which is the 2 inches in, and I'm going to mark halfway down here. Okay, so I'm going to cut from here and I'm going to cut halfway in. So this one is, I cut this down to 5 1/4. So I need to go and find, let me get my pencil, halfway point. Okay, so a little math is involved. All right, so halfway we've got 5, which gives us 2 1/2, but then we have that extra quarter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm using just my ruler here on my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm going to 2 1/8. Okay, so there's the 2-inch mark, and then halfway between 2 and 2 1/4. And I'm just going to make a little mark there. Okay, just like that. Easy, right? Hold on, 2 1/2, sorry. 2 1/2, so 2 3/8. 2 3/8. See, I told you math is hard sometimes. So half, you have 5 1/4, you need half of that, which is actually 2 3/8. Okay, so I'm making a mark. I'm going to do the same on this end. 2 3/8. Okay, just like that. 2 3/8. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to stick in my trimmer here. I am going to cut, and again, this is the top here. We don't have directional paper, so we don't have to worry. If you have some sort of directional paper, you have to make sure that this is going up in the right direction because you are cutting this off of the top corners, okay? So just make sure, check your directions on your paper. Now I have to look and see where is that my mark there? It's hard to see on this one. I think that's it. So I'm going from the top here where the 2 inches in the score line is, right there, to that center point. Okay, I've got it on my track. Now I'm going to cut it. Okay, see that? I'm cutting that off. All right, then I'm going to do the exact same on this one. It's easier for me to almost go the opposite because I'm putting it in my track. There is that one, and there is my score line. And again, it's so hard for you to see the score line on this paper, so I'm trying to even burnish it a little bit more for me so I can see it. It's the lighting. There it is. Okay, and then we're going to go there. Now you can always double check. You've cut a piece of paper off already. Yep, there's the point. Looks good. Okay, and I got to make sure that's on this there and that's there. So again, my score line 2 inches in, and then my halfway point. Line them up. Okay, do your cut. Perfect. Okay, that is all the scoring that we need. Okay, so again, just to review, we've got the 5 1/4 by 12. We scored at 4 8, and then we went in and we scored 2 inches on each side. We measured up the halfway point, which is 2 3/8, and we made a mark and we chopped off on an angle from the score line down to that center point. Okay, we good? Look at that. I love it. Okay, so this is now revealing this beautiful paper here. Okay, you've got your snowiness, and what we're going to do is we are now going to attach this piece. These are your cutoff pieces, right? And you're going to attach them to these front panels on an angle. So it gives the illusion like you have just folded the paper, right? That you have just folded this paper over. So if this paper was longer, you would have folded it over and it would have covered this spot. But because this is 12 inches, it doesn't get longer than that. So we're chopping here and we're attaching here. Okay, so this piece came from here. It's getting glued down here. So it's giving that illusion of that extra pretty fold on the front of your card. Okay. All right, so let's add this in. And we're going to put it right there. So pretty. I love these papers, and I am a huge green and blue and all of those crossover colors in between, the pretty peacock, the shaded spruce, which is kind of like a really rich green, but it's got some blue undertones to it. Lost Lagoon, all of those colors. So I love bringing them all together because they blend so nicely. And this is going to look so pretty with our trees. Okay. So these, again, are on those front panels, right? Look at that now. When it's folded up, you can see how beautiful that is, and it looks like it's been folded, but it hasn't. Wow, I guess I am going to try this fold. Yay! I hope you do. Make sure you post it, Krista. Okay? All right, so now I want to have a little bit more of a sturdier base. That's why I cut this down to 5 1/4. This one, and again, you could do it without that extra sturdy base, and you could make the height 5 1/2 like Tanya did here. Okay, but I'm going to add this extra little layer just so that we've got a little bit of sturdiness to the card. There we go. Like that. And we're going to put it on. we're going to glue it down. So this is a single layer, 5.5 by 4.25. Okay. There we go. And you know what? I didn't even know I was going to be doing a fun fold today until, you know, just a little bit earlier here when I decided to look through some cards to inspire me from the past. And look at how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, I love this. Okay. So we'll do 1, 2 like that. We'll do a 'Tis the Season. We need a little bit of embellishment on there. So your key is going to be, of course, you're only going to attach this to one side. So I'm going to attach it to this side, which means that I need to make sure, I got to pull this in again just to see. What I like about this die also is that it has these points. So you can line up the points level with the seam, right? The seam down the middle. And then when you go to attach these, I just want to make sure that it's not going to be hanging off of the outside area of this card. So I'm going to put this one down. I'm just holding this in place. I'm not ready to commit and glue it down yet, just in case this doesn't pan out the way I want it to, right? So I'm just holding it down in place, and then I'm going to place this first one just because I want to make sure it's in the right spot. That's going to help guide my other tree. And I'm going to put this one up higher like that. Okay. See, now I know what the boundary is towards the outside of the card, and I can go ahead and I can attach this one, which I'm going to pop it up a little bit. I'm going to use some dimensional for this one. Get out my dimensionals. I'm just going to, I'll cut a piece here like that, and we will glue this on. Let's see. And again, we're going to do it to the center of our tree. Like that. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go, and again, making sure that it is within the label. See, I've got no extra adhesive hanging over. I can still see my 'Tis the Season. I like how that frames that in. And I might look, I should have again done this first and see what else I have on here. I do have a stamp set. I'm going to grab my stamp set that has a little bit of snow, and I'm going to stamp a little bit of snow. I think in Lost Lagoon. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp a little bit of snow. It needs a little something up there, so I want to do something. So let's grab. I'm going to do this one. I have Lost Lagoon. I've got Pool Party here. That will work. It's just going to be a light little bit of snow here. So I'm going to grab from the Snowy Delights, I'm going to grab this cute little bit of snow. And I'm going to stamp that. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll just, again, it's just going to be very faint, but see how we've got just a little bit of snow on there? I'm keeping it nice and light, and so you can just see it. And then I'm going to add some rhinestones in the center of those snowflakes. It'll just give me a pretty landing point for my beautiful rhinestones I'm going to put on there. I think I just want just that one little bit of snow. That's all I want for the inside. So what I do love about this layout is you can make the inside just as beautiful as the outside, and people won't be expecting that when they pull it open. Look at how pretty that is on the inside. So we're going to put this down right there. And this would be an easy card to make, whether it is for a birthday. You could make a beautiful fall card. with some gorgeous leaves and our beautiful gathering together papers. And then you could, instead of trees, you could put one of those beautiful leaves on the front of it, right? Okay, so there is where this is going to go. Now I am going to glue this down flat, and what I would recommend is using either a liquid glue, or of course you could use some tear tape. If it's something that is like a moving mechanism in a card, I will often use the tear tape. I don't have to worry about going over the center because I know where that center point is with this die because of the point that's in the actual shape, which is perfect. And then I just have to make sure that I have this. And you know what I'm going to do before I do this? I am going to take, do I have my bone folder? I do. And I'm just going to burnish these a little bit more, just so that they lay a little flat. Okay, and then it's not popping up for me when I go to add my centerpiece there. Because that's when all of a sudden it'll stick and you're like, oh no, it's not quite. And I'm burnishing these edges like they were folded and they're not. Isn't that funny? They were just glued on, but I felt like I had to burnish them. I don't. Okay. It's that illusion, right? That it is a folded edge. Okay. So I'm going to pop this so that it's centered in the middle of this blue space that I've got. Okay. And I'm assuming it's straight because I can't see the other point, but I think it is. There we go. Let me just check it on this side. Yeah, that looks good. And there we have got it glued to the one side. Okay, we're gonna add, isn't that pretty? Then what we're gonna do is we are going to use some embellishments. Let's see what I've got in here. Let's do just a little bit of good old bling. Yep, I think that would be perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just do a little bling on here. And again, I'm going to focus on these snowflakes that are very, very faint, but there's 3 of them, which is perfect. 1, 2, and then another little tiny baby one. 1, 2, 3 on there, like that. 1, 2, 3. I mean, if you wanted to, you could do the same fold and you could create a belly band that slipped on and off, right? If you wanted to. I like it just kind of being attached like that. And that way, when you open it or pull it apart, you have the trees that go along with it. And then it looks pretty when it's open too, right? It looks like it's just blends together like that. Okay, so there is our folded card, and again, this is all using like 5 1/4 by 12. Okay, and we scored it first at 4 and 8, right? The 4 and the 8, and then we went in from both ends 2 inches and scored. And then we had to mark our halfway point on the lines here, right? We had to mark these, which was at 5 3/8. And then this is our score line, and then we just cut that piece off, okay? And then that piece became this piece down at the bottom, okay? So once you make it once, I think it's going to be an easy one to do, but it's also a nice one because you end up with so much beautiful paper, and this is a great way. It's hard to decide which side to cut into, so this is a great way to highlight both of the sides of the paper. And then this was just another little scrap that was within the package that, you know, why not? It's a scrappy moment. get a piece of scrap that's from the same package and add that little extra little piece on the inside. It does make a difference, right? And otherwise it would end up in your recycle. So there you have it. Okay. So there's your beautiful Christmas card on Halloween. I know I wasn't thinking about Halloween today, right? But you know, we will be watching those trick-or-treaters tonight, but I wanted to share this fold. And you could definitely, if you wanted to make a last-minute Halloween card, you could definitely bring out some little ghosts and mummies and stuff, and you could do this in Halloween. You could do it in floral. You could do it in some sort of masculine plaid, and then have some sort of more masculine image on there too. So it's an easy one to adapt. Okay, so again, inspired by the Canadian Stamper, from this one to this one. There you go. All right. Nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Give it a try. Use whatever you've got. If you happen to be scoring along with me, now you've got your paper scored. Turn it into something fabulous, right? I'd love to see what you make. Go ahead and post it in the comments. And I hope you guys have a great, safe, fun, happy Halloween. I will be back on Sunday at 9 o'clock for Sunday morning Step Up. If you still want to grab that starter kit deal, be part of Stamp It Canadian community, and just, I mean, lots of people, they end up buying the kit for this great discount. You get to shop at a discount and continue your discount, right? But it's the community that is the amazing part, right? Yes, you're getting your Stampin' Up stuff at a great deal, and you're getting a lot for to start off with for a small amount, but it's this fun community that yeah, it's just it's the best part. All right, so anyways, you can reach out to me today, and I will be putting out my Christmas tag dozen. I'll do that by the end of the weekend so that you guys can sign up. I love that one. And I will be looking back to see whom happened to do 9 of my card clubs this year. And if you did, then and you sign up for the Christmas tag dozen, it will be your freebie this year. So make sure, if you do sign up, hold off. If you've done a lot of my card clubs, hold off, because it could be your free one. You don't have to pay for it. Okay. All right. As for my subscription, 3 o'clock today, this is what we are going to be creating. That one right there. And it holds a chocolate bar in it as well. So like I said, I'll put the link for the subscription in the comments for anyone who wants to join that, and do some creating with me later this afternoon. Okay, bye everyone.